like this, 'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye.
This gonna be the type of night they make movies about.
What up? What up? What up? It's your boy, Mr. Von. Mr. Von Channel Sweatbox. We back. We live. We active here on the channel. Yes, indeed. You know how we do. Still dodging those digital jabs, baby. Yes, yes, yes. And we are here to talk about Marvel's What If episodes 3 and 4. What if the world's lost its mightiest heroes? And what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? Episodes 3 and 4. We're going to talk about them. This series, man, spoiler review by the way, but this series is getting so good. Now, last time I talked about episodes 1 and 2 and how much I loved specifically episode 2, how much I loved the episode with T'Challa. Episode 3, what if the world lost its mightiest heroes? This episode talks about what if Nick Fury never assembled the Avengers? Now, if you remember back in Marvel Phase 1, they had the thing called Fury's Crazy Week or Fury something like that, where the events of Iron Man 2, Thor, and Incredible Hulk all happened within the span of a week. And very good. Good old Marvel Stage 1, baby. But yeah, and so this tells the story about Nick Fury trying to form the Avengers, but they keep getting killed. Someone's killing them off, and it starts with Iron Man. And we replay the scene from Iron Man 2 where he's sitting in the giant donut, and Nick Fury comes to talk to him, and he sees that he's sick, and then when Natasha goes to give him the little, not the antidote, but the antidote, we'll say the antidote. When Natasha gives him the antidote, instead of curing him, he fucking dies. Just kills over, boom. They arrest Natasha, assuming she did it. Nick Fury knows she didn't do it. So then, Thor is the next one on the list. And it's the scene from the first Thor, where he's going to get Mjolnir, where he's going to pick up Mjolnir out in the desert. Shield's already set up the whole fort, and Clint's out there. And it's the scene where Clint's in the high position. And he's got the drop on him. And he's like, just give me the word. Just give me the word and I'll drop him. And he's like, no. And then boom. Next thing you know, Thor shot through the heart. Clint killed him. Straight up murdered him with his arrow. And Clint's like, I didn't misfire. I didn't do it. What happened? What happened? But he did it. And so then they arrest Clint. And then Clint's in his cell. And they go to question him. And they see that he's dead. Clint's dead. Oh my goodness. What's going on? Who's killing the Avengers? So Natasha, who had been arrested at this point, she escapes. And she goes on the hunt to find Bruce Banner, because her and Bruce at this point, they're the only ones that are left. Because Cap hasn't been unfrozen at this point. They haven't unfrozen Cap. So, yeah. So she goes to find Bruce, and then we get the scene from the original Incredible Hulk, where they're on that bridge. And instead of it being Betty Ross, she goes to see Betty Ross. Not looking for the Hulk. She goes to see Betty Ross to try to find out who's killing the Avengers, and Betty Ross helps. And then in the process of that, she finds Bruce Banner hidden there. They try to escape. General Ross shows up with his army, and the scene on the bridge plays out, and then Hulk gets shot. And then instead of he hulks out, and they start. Oh, and it's this great scene. Okay, I totally forgot about part. I'm tripping. I'm totally tripping. I almost flaked. So after Thor gets killed, Loki, who is now the acting king of Asgard because Odin is in the Odin sleep, comes to Earth with an Asgardian army and the Destroyer, seeking revenge for Thor Odinson. And so there's this dope scene of Nick Fury and his forces facing off against Loki and the armies of Asgard, and Loki has the thing the forever winter thing from the frost giants from Jotunheim, that they had in the first Thor movie. He has that weapon, and he uses it on Nick Fury's people. It's fire. And there's a dope scene that intercuts between that and then the Hulk smashing all of General Ross's troops. It's a fucking dope scene. It's the highlight for me. It was the highlight of the episode. It was just the way it was done. It was great. It was good. It was very good. So in this universe, because Thor was killed, Odin goes into Odin's sleep. Loki obviously takes over as the king of Asgard, and yeah, it's savage. So Nick Fury cuts a deal with Loki. He said, "Hey man, I'll find out who killed Thor. You just got to give me time." So Loki gives him like 24 hours, and then in the process, back over with the Hulk, he gets, like I said, he got shot, and then he hulks out, and he starts smashing all of the troops, and then all of a sudden he starts, and he explodes. The fucking Hulk exploded. It was crazy. Out of all the Avenger deaths, it was crazy. So Natasha escapes. She goes to this computer room and she finds out what's going on. Guess who was killing all the Avengers? It's the original Ant-Man, Hank Pym. And he's wearing the Yellow Jacket suit. And so we get this cutscene of him going back, killing all the Avengers. He was the one who made Clint fire the arrow. He was in the needle that they shot in the neck, that they put into the neck of Iron Man, and he killed him from within because through the needle. Like I said, he went inside a Hulk when they shot him with the bullet, and he put an enlarging thing on his heart, and he enlarged his heart, and he made his heart explode. It was the most craziest thing ever. He climbed beside Clint's ear, and I assume he just stabbed him in the brain or something a bunch of times. Who knows? Yeah. So that's how Yellow Jacket, aka Ant-Man, Hank Pym, took out all the Avengers. And so they find out because his daughter, Hope, died. Hope was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and she had died, and he's angry because of that, so he took vengeance. So now Loki and Nick Fury team up, and they figure out it's him. They stop him. It's a really good scene with Loki pretending to be Nick Fury, and then he starts just smacking Ant-Man around. That's a great scene. Excuse me. And then after Hank Pym is arrested and given over to the Asgardians, Nick Fury's like, "All right, thank you. You can leave now." He says Loki. Loki's like, "No, I think I'll stay." And Loki then proceeds to take over Earth. Loki then proceeds to take over Earth. He uses the Asgardian. He literally takes over Earth. He succeeds because the Avengers aren't there. So the episode ends though with Nick Fury getting ready to defrost Cap, and then Captain Marvel shows up because they show there's a scene where he was going to use the pager that he got from Captain Marvel. He uses the pager, so then she shows up. So he's still going to form the Avengers. It's just in a different Avengers team now with Captain America, and Captain Marvel starting it out, and that's how the episode ends. It was a great episode. I like that episode a lot, and I did all that to get to the next episode, episode 4. What if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands? This episode was heavy. Okay, this episode was heavy. The entire plot of this episode was, what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands, and his heart being Christine, played by the beautiful Rachel McAdams. She's so hot. She's so gorgeous. But and she came back to revoice her. So in this version, the events of the events of Doctor Strange play out basically the same, and it's crazy because he goes through the same thing. He defeats Dormammu, but okay. Now what happens is, instead of the original event, instead of him getting in the car accident and him hurting his hands, he gets in a car accident with Christine, and she dies. So he's in great trauma. So he goes through the same process. He goes on a search for Kamar-Taj. He becomes the Sorcerer Supreme. He defeats Dormammu. And he has the Time Stone. But before the events of Infinity War, there's the whole time where he can't get over the grief of Christine. He can't get over it, so he uses the time stone to go back and try to save her, and she dies. And not only does she die, she repeatedly dies. She continually dies. He goes back again and again and again to try to save her, and she dies every time. I mean, at one point, he tries to take a different route, and they get sideswiped by a garbage truck. He tries to avoid the crash. They get rear-ended. It was everything. I mean, he tries to not go on a date at all in the car. They go dancing, and she has a fucking heart attack while they're dancing. They go to a restaurant. She gets shot. I mean, I'm like, man, why does death hate Christine? It was destined for her to die. The coldest one was he stood her up. He was like, I love you so much. I'm not even gonna go see you. I don't want you to die. He stood her up, and he's in a bar having a drink, and he sees that she died in a fucking fire. It was the coldest shit. I was like, damn. So he's become completely grief-stricken that he can't bring her back. So he goes down an extremely dark path. The chosen one, or the ancient one, excuse me, the ancient one, Tilda Swinton comes, and she tells him, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. You're gonna fuck shit up. Christine has to stay dead. You can't save her. You cannot save her. And I get it, because that's the key point. In this universe, her death is the catalyst for him becoming Doctor Strange. So if he saves her, it's gonna fuck up the whole universe, because then he never becomes Doctor Strange. Therefore, he never defeats Dormammu. So I can see that. That make complete sense. Where he's the ancient one was telling her death is an absolute point. It has to happen, and he can't accept it. So he starts using all of this dark magic to absorb power from other beings, so he can become strong enough to break this absolute point and bring Christine back. And in doing this, he becomes darker and darker. And Watu, the Watcher, is watching him. He says, I should probably intervene, but he's probably not going to listen anyway. And it gets bad. It gets bad. I mean, it gets so dark. It gets so dark. And Tilda Swinton, when he refused to listen, she tries to stop him. They have a little battle. And what you come to find out is that she actually split his consciousness into two separate reality timelines within the same universe. And there's the regular Doctor Strange, and then there was this Doctor Strange that was doing all the crazy evil shit to get more powerful to bring back Christine. So the regular Doctor Strange and the evil Doctor Strange have this crazy face-off, this crazy wizard duel where he's using, and some of the magic that he was using, and some of the things that when he was absorbing all the different creatures, it was insane. You know, there was one shot where he absolutely looked like Mephisto, but we're not even going to go there with the whole Mephisto thing. We're not, internet, I hate you for that. But man, he was absorbing all kind of crazy demons. It started with this like little this little garden gnome, and then it ended with him trying to absorb the same creature that Captain Carter was fighting in episode 1. So there we have the links. We have the links of the universe. So it got crazy. And so then the showdown between him, the good Doctor Strange, and the evil Doctor Strange. Evil Doctor Strange wins and absorbs good Doctor Strange, now having the power to break the absolute point and save Christine. And then when he does do that, it just causes the destruction of the entire universe. I'm not joking. The episode ended with the destruction of the whole universe. As the universe was falling apart, he's just trying to hold it together with his power. He sees Watu the Watcher. He's like, I know you can stop this. Help. He said, I'm not a god, and neither are you, and this is what you get for fucking with shit, bitch. And he let him die. And it was it. And then the episode ends with the destruction of the universe. It was the darkest shit ever. It was so dark. I was like, what the fuck? It was bad, but it was so greatly done, though. It was so greatly done. This was such a good episode. But man, they went dark. They went dark with the demon imagery of him absorbing all the creatures. They went dark with the absolute death of Christine, and they went dark with that ending. Man, bravo. Great. This series just keeps getting better and better. I'm really enjoying Marvel's What If. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying this series? Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. As always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click the notifications. Check out the travel vlogs. I got one more Vegas video that I got to upload. And then, guess what? I'm headed back to San Diego for a couple days. We're going to get a lot of footage. Hit the beach. It's been a while since I've hit the beaches in San Diego. I miss them. They're calling my name. I can't wait to get back to San Diego. We got some surprises. It's going to be fun. So check out the travel vlogs from my previous San Diego trips and the Vegas trip and Punta Cana. We getting it in. And make sure you keep it locked. Until next time, you know how we do. Peace.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go to the end with you. I'ma go.